Hey, and welcome back to the Wisdom Vault. This is Dr. Sonja TV. Now, I got a conversation I want to have with you today. Something woke me up. I would say, before I went to bed, I had a conversation, and then I dreamt about it all night long, and I woke up with it. But I don't know about you. If that happens, because normally the stuff I think about, I dream about, I won't necessarily remember the next day unless it's important. Unless it's important to me and my future, and unless it's important to someone else. And so we're going to title this, Sha'Carri Richardson, You Are Worth More Than $20 million. I saw this conversation and it said she supposedly signed a deal with Nike. Now, I normally don't have these conversations, but this one I felt down in my sha-na-na. And it is saying supposedly she signed a 5-year deal. 5-year deal for $20 million. And I'll be honest. Where I am right now and what I've worked for, I know without a shadow of a doubt that young woman who is considered the fastest woman in the world who won the track and field championship this year, 2023. And I saw that. I'm like, no, y'all playing with my girl. Y'all are playing 5 years because I started thinking about what I know now. She can do that in a month if she wanted. Matter of fact, if a month is too quick for some of y'all to think about it, because I hope she gets a chance to see this. Baby girl, it can be done in a year. It can be done in 6 months. And if you mess around and learn and find out, as they say, mess around and find out. I'm not going to say what they really say, but if you mess around and find out, you're onto something. And I truly believe this young woman, 23 years old, has the juice. And it's not for just track and field. If you ever go, matter of fact, take some time at some point and go back and listen to her story. I remember seeing her on a video where when she won, she ran off the field, she ran directly up, and I think it was her grandmother. And she sat there like a little girl, which told me at that very moment, she needs to be surrounded by powerful people who are going to tell her the truth in love and going to protect her. And so what I know to be true, I don't know her personally, not yet. I don't know her like that, but there's something about her spirit that I truly, truly understand and I respect. So let me tell you what I believe that is happening in her world right now, and then I'm going to map out what I believe if I were her 30 years later, 40 years later, what I would do. Knowing what I know right now, and if she took this advice, she will not be the same. She's already not the same. Her whole world changed. Remember when you were 23? What were you doing at 23? I promise you probably were not running for your life. I promise you were not running a 100-meter race. I promise you probably weren't doing that. And matter of fact, you probably weren't ranked number 1 in the world. Not just in the US of A, in the world. So a couple of things that I know for sure, and I have my phone to just make sure I capture this. A couple of things that is happening to her right now, if it hasn't already happened. Everyone is wanting something from her. Her family, don't get mad at me. I'm just a messenger right now. I'm just a messenger. Everybody's wanting something from her, from family to friends, significant others, whatever the case may be. And I know she feels like everybody is pulling, to include Nike. Now, I know they mean well. Maybe because she's just getting started and she had a little turmoil at the beginning or what have you. And we're going to talk about that here in a few moments as well. However, everybody's pulling from her. And so she's feeling the weight of the world on her back. Not just winning, but making sure she keeps those things going and coming, because there's so many people, I believe, right now that are saying, oh, my God, we love you. We love you. We love you. But hey, can I get? Can I borrow? Can I have? Spot me this. Maybe it's just the culture that I come from. When you become very successful in your own right and you've worked hard, we have no idea what that young woman has went through in her life. And I can only imagine. I just saw it in her eyes when she sat in that wise woman's lap in the audience, in the bleachers, and it was a game changer for me. I just sat there. I didn't know much about her. I didn't know what was going on, but I kind of followed her story, which takes me to number 2, what I believe that is happening. She is under stress. She's under stress because of all the things that she has been asked to do. All the things that she has to do the training and all of that, which brings me to the incident that happened. Now, she got caught up, took a test. She didn't pass, smoking weed. She's under stress. I believe, and I've never used drugs a day in my life. You want to know why? Because I have an addictive personality. I like what I like, and I stick to it, and I don't change it unless it's broken. And I'm going to fight tooth and nail if I have to change it out, right? Go to breakfast, same restaurant. Maybe we have our top 4. I'll order the same thing. So that's why I haven't done drugs. But I understand young people these days is how they handle stress. And the more stress they believe they're under, the more they do things. And so I know without a shadow of a doubt, she is dealing with a lot at this moment. And number three, she doesn't understand her true power. Now, she understands that she's fast. But I don't think she understands how much of an influencer she has become. And so when you get the likes of Nike and all of them coming for your name, want to use your likeness to influence others and bring their brand along, 20 million, I'll be honest, it should have been more, 20 million, yeah, for a year contract, if that, right? Simply because of who she is. And so what I believe, if I were Sha'Carri, or if I was coaching her and branding her right now, or helping her build her business, this is what I would do. Let me find my marker up here. This is who she is right now, but to really get her to SR, what I'm going to call her, 7.0, oh, that's a brand in itself. SR 7.0, building an enterprise in which she already is at 23 years old. She has truly and can truly become the Rihanna, you heard me, the who Riri is in the industry of having been on a stage and dropped an album in years. And her fans are going crazy. When you going to drop? You having these babies. You dropping babies. When you going to drop another album? Riri ain't thinking about us. I didn't say it because I see she is about her business. Matter of fact, so much so that she hired a CEO. You better know she has been mentored, coached. She's got some agents that understand the game. And so, SR, wherever you are right now, if your family is watching this, I hope they get this in front of you. My dear, you're on to something at 23 years old. And I hope and pray that you are rising above all that is happening. You have the right people around you. And if you do, this is what your potential empire could look like. Y'all ready for it? I hope you are. This is just Dr. Sonja's thoughts on wisdom, right? Number 1, baby girl, you have a whole hair care line, products, and all of that. From bundles of hair with different colors and shades, you just need to get the right marketing tool and find the bundle or the organization that you want to work with. Because I've seen it with purple hair, blue hair, red, white, and blue, all of that. I'm not a big fan of all that, but she wears it well. And I believe because she's such an influencer, there are going to be young people that are going to be wanting to listen and watch her do her thing, which takes me to this next thing. And because I'm in this space of coaching and consulting and speaking, I truly believe she should have an area where she does publishing. Now, I know, but Dr. Sonja, she's in a different field. I know she is. However, simply because she's in the influencer field, she can come over here and drop a book today. And that book, Faster Than Lightning, the Sha'Carri Richardson story of how she overcame, right? Simply because of her story. If you don't know it, go look her up. I didn't do a lot of studying because I studied more of her spirit than her backstory. And when you start looking at this, her book that she should be writing, somebody should be reaching out to give her and help her with her New York Times bestseller. Next thing, there's a whole opportunity, and I think she's already started this because I thought I saw her on Essence standing on the stage, and when I tell you she's a woman of faith, and she gave God all the glory, and somebody told her something about, oh, it should have happened then, and she said, no, because of the God I serve, it happened just in time. It happened at the right time. Can you imagine it? No, understanding at 23 is happening at the right time. So, of course, she should be out there speaking. Now, let me do a disclaimer here. Simply because she has a busy schedule, I'm talking about just on off season. Nike wants to pay her $20 million. And I think I saw 5 years. She can do this in a year if she has the right teaching and training. SR, you're worth much more than you know. And maybe you already know it, they just haven't figured it out yet. Understanding hair care product line, publishing, speaking, you out there speaking to young people around the world, going to different universities and sharing with them these things. Now, maybe you don't have the time, but I'm just talking about off season. Maybe you do the top 4 universities out there and really go in to build such a platform. The next thing, and I'll make this possibly maybe next to last or the last, it is all about a makeup line. Dr. Sonja, that's too much, that's too much. You tell us to do one message on multiple platforms to make millions. I completely understand. I completely understand that. But she has the opportunity because of her beauty on and off the field, right? And last but not least, I have one more. Let me swipe up so I can see all of that. Last one, merchandise, merch. 20 million, Nike, I know you mean well, but she is worth much more than that. Her merchandise alone can generate that in 1 year. If she's smart, which I know she is, but I mean smart enough to get the right people in her corner. I hope and pray that she's surrounded by powerful people that are not just there to take from her, but to give and protect her. Because the world is not nice. Her future could be bright, but there's also some demons, some devils, the enemy that is out there to take everything that she has. This is just Dr. Sonja's thoughts on what SR 7.0 could look like from 23 to her 7.0. This is Dr. Sonja. I hope to see you on the next training of Wisdom Vault.
Like and subscribe to Dr. Sonja TV.